Ba-dum. Back here at night, here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. We got a full show tonight. A lot going on. Going to start some Red Sox coming up in a bit. I know that they're just about to get going. Not happy. Last week, I said small C. Small C. Concerned. Small C concerned. Well, are we at a capital C yet, everybody? Are you at a capital C concern when it comes to the Red Sox? Also, throughout the show today, I do want to touch on some more Patriot stuff. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of smoke about some trade action yesterday that I think we should look at again. And are fans starting to feel a little different about the Patriots and their expectations this year? I'm feeling it. I was out and about today, and people were, Joe, I don't know about those Patriots, man. That 8.5, you might be right. I'm bent on it under 8.5. There are some things, though, that I will tell you I've liked about Josh McDaniels, where overall, I don't like the fact that the first-year quarterback is handling everything at the line. I don't love it, but he's handled it well. Just wondering if it's maybe delaying some of his progression. We'll get into that coming up throughout the night as well. The phone number here is 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube. What is up, fam? Go to say what's up to our YouTube fam. We're in there every single night. It's growing every single night as well. So if you want to tune in to the show as well, just go to youtube.com and search 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's as easy as that. And I like to read the chats. We have Street Team Joe here tonight. Skaz here as well. And once again, if you'd like to call, 617-779-0985. So there we go. So let's start it off with the opening take, which is presented by Super Service Today. And I'll get you that read in a second here. But Super Service Today is Massachusetts' #1 provider for residential and commercial plumbing, heating, cooling, and drain cleaning day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. And are you small C, big C? Where are you at when it comes to the Boston Red Sox? And I can't get over this article, and I wanted to kind of get into it a little bit. But this is from Pete Abraham. And a couple of quotes that just stood out to me that I wanted to get into. And it's from Alex Cora, who I've been very critical about. I think he's costed them games with his decision-making. I will say the pitchers that have kind of blew games the last couple of days, I think it's on them. Like, I think it's on the pitchers, and it's hard with the Red Sox to kind of have those guys take accountability when for so long it has been the gutless bums, right, that are out there. It has been a terrible crew of bullpen guys. But this year, the bullpen's been solid. It really has. Under ERA under 3 for the most of the guys that are here. It's all these other guys that aren't really fitting the mold here. But let me just read this article from Pete Abe. I'll just give you some of the headlines here. But we're in the winning business, right? That's one of the quotes from Alex Cora. So I just wanted to let that sink in a little bit. Winning business. If the Sox are in the winning business, how come Cooper Criswell, Dick Fitz, Zach Kelly, they helped them earlier in the year? But why is a guy like Isaiah Campbell up here? And it's hard not to look at the loss that happened on Sunday with Garrett Crochet and then look at last night's loss as, they fought back, but it's still their pitching, their bullpen in relief is horrible. Like, Isaiah Campbell shouldn't be here. Like, they did bring up Brennan Bernardino tonight. But like Cooper Criswell, Richard Fitz, Zach Kelly, those guys have done it here already. Campbell's had 14 games the last 2 seasons. He's allowed 18 earned runs on 27 hits over 14 innings. Like Cora, when asked about being, the gain of having Campbell on the roster, he goes, we always talk about how we're going to attack this week's pitching-wise with guys that we have right now. and he feels comfortable with those guys. Jordan Hicks has been a horrible acquisition. The Rafael Devers trade have been bad acquisitions. The trade deadline acquisitions haven't been great either. I like Matt still, even though he gave up a home run the other night, but Jordan Hicks has been terrible since he's reached the Red Sox. He's put 28 batters on base over 14 innings. It's by either hit, walk, hit by pitch. He can't be trusted in any situation. Forget about high leverage situations. Hicks is out of options. He can't go down. Some other team will claim him. Plus, he's part of the trade. So, you're stuck with him. I'll get into the offense in the first hour as well, but Toro has struggled. His drop-off has been bad, and now it makes me wonder about Christian Campbell, right? I think the password's starting to get some look down in the minor leagues at first base. But the quote you'll hear a lot about, and again, I don't necessarily feel this is a shot at whether it's ownership or Craig Breslow. I don't feel that, but when I read it, it's all I can think about. This is who we are. This is the roster we have. That's our job. Keep grinding with him. We're not going to give up. In the past, I would tell you he's blaming Breslow. He's blaming the general manager. I don't feel that tonight. I don't. I really think that Cora believes these guys can get the job done. Maybe he was a part of them, maybe not getting another or making another move. I actually like the Mats move. The thing I don't like about Mats is he's left-handed. It's the only thing I don't like. Whatever. But if you want to maximize the roster, are they doing it right now? With some of these relievers they have, I know they're making moves, but it's not good enough right now. They're hanging on to a wild card spot right now. There's 35 games left now after tonight? They've lost 7 of their last 11. They can't be losing games like this anymore. This is one of the reasons why people wanted them to go out and make moves at the deadline. But every game's important now, right? Every roster spot's important the rest of the way. And this is something that Pete Abraham wrote, and I want it to resonate. The Sox owe better than that to the fans and the players who have gotten them this far. And I agree. So I know some guys are out. They're probably still maneuvering some things with their team and the roster, and there's a couple of guys they'll have to make a decision on calling up when September happens. I know there's 35 games to go, but losses like the last couple of nights build. And I will say this, tonight's a huge game. They get the day off. Alex Cora in the second half versus the Yankees, I got the numbers for you. They're not good. They're not good. Tonight's a big win with Walker Buehler on the mound, someone that was a free agent, right? That at least pitched well enough in the last start to get the win, but they couldn't do it. May, I thought, wasn't great last night, but you know what? It was the bullpen that lost it once again. But they're not the only ones right now that are hurting the Red Sox. The offense has fallen off. We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. Again, the phone number here, 617-779-0985. You're listening to the Sports Hub. the meaning is or trying to twist the words, okay? This is what the roster is. This is what it is. They have a team with pretty good young players that are developing, some mixed-in guys that can platoon, that have done pretty well, but are slowly starting to fade. But they do just enough to keep you in there. So the belief of the team is these guys can do it. Right now, as of August 19th, they can, but it's slipping. And they can't have the bullpen fall apart now. We've given you the numbers. They've been really good all year. The rotating 3 to 4 pitchers that really they can't get right, that's who's crushing the team. The other guys, and I know Weiser, it's been a little up and down, but for the most part, him and the crew of guys, Chapman, right? Whitlock, right? Guys like that. Their ERA is like 2.28. It's been good. It's been very good. But these, I don't want to call them bums, but like, what has Isaiah Campbell ever done? Why is Cooper Criswell not up? Or Richard Fitz or Zach Kelly? Like, those guys have helped. What's going on with that? Maybe I don't understand. And Jordan Hicks, I get it. Just make him the last guy on the roster. Put him in the worst situations. Or if you're getting beat, just play him. High leverage, I know that's how you have to get him to get better. Can you trust him? You can't. There are some guys you can't trust in a pennant race. Right? Or a playoff race. I said pennant race. Whatever. He's one of them. What you really can't depend on right now, though, the offense has fallen off. Listen to these Red Sox numbers over the last 5 games. They're batting .210 as a team. That's 25th in Major League Baseball. Their on-base percentage is 27th at .276. Their slugging's 28th at .299. Their OPS is .575. Not good. They are struggling of late. Didn't we think this would happen? Didn't we think that this is what I mean by the roster is what it is? Like, we know what they are. Some guys get hot. Some guys are slowing down. Let me tell you who the guys that are slowing down. And just these numbers, again, since the All-Star break, 60 appearances or more, okay? Minimum, 60. Yoshida is batting .284. No, actually, let me give you the OBP. Sorry. On-base percentage. Yoshida, .284. Romy Gonzalez, .250. Ceddanne Rafaela, .236. Toro, .233. Narvaez, .159. The OPS, not good. Ceddanne Rafaela has really struggled at the plate after the All-Star break. He's off tonight. He's not in the lineup. They get the off day tomorrow, so I'm assuming that's why he's out tonight. He's off tomorrow, and then he'll be ready to go against the Yankees. He's batting .194 right now since the All-Star break. 0 home runs. 4 RBI. He has a .488 OPS in 28 games. They need him. They need him. Now he's playing second. He plays a good outfield. And at times, a guy like him, you just say, do what you do in the field, man. We'll take what you give. But I wanted to just mention, at the All-Star break, he had the 4th best odds to win the American League MVP. This guy is taking a dramatic fall. I like Ceddanne Rafaela. I thought the best thing for him was playing center field every single day. He was rocking and rolling. Now he's doing what's best for the team. I don't think it's what's best for him. There's a log jam in the outfield. I get it. But when your best outfielder has to play second base, which he's been pretty good at, I think it's affected him at the plate. They need Ceddanne Rafaela. I just wanted to bring this up one more time regarding Christian Campbell. Toro's struggles are real. I know they like him. He's a vet. can bat both sides, play multiple infield positions. Like he's a valuable guy to have around. I do agree with that. And I think we should have the expectation that the roster is what it is, like Cora said, that he was going to tail off. And Romy's been pretty good, better than I at least thought this year. Better around the bag, but he's playing second base tonight. Maybe that's just a fill for Rafaela to get the time off. You had to assume at some point that this guy was going to fall off. Like, I know Abreu's dealing with something. He's been out of the lineup. Narvaez was really good, and his bat is now struggling a little bit. Like, it's starting to come around. August and September, I just don't know if the Red Sox know how to play in those months. I don't think Alex Cora right now knows how to manage this type of roster. He believes in this roster, and I think that might be an issue. Like, I think he believes in the guys. He's disappointed in these pitchers. I think he's disappointed in some of the guys, but you know what? A lot of them have proven that if you stick with them, they do battle out of it. I think Cedon Rafaela will battle out of it. Walker Buehler is a perfect example. I mean, let's face it. Walker Buehler's had good starts, awful starts, mediocre, not good enough. He's fighting for literally every patch of grass he can. Walker Buehler at the moment. And right now, we'll give you the score coming up in a bit, but he's off to a good start. But I do think they've believed in these guys a little too much. Let's see how it works out. But a guy like Christian Campbell, I'd look to bring him back. Maybe it's before the call-ups, maybe when the call-ups happen. But maybe it's not second base. Maybe they can work him in at first. But he's a guy I'd like to see back in this lineup. But for now, this is what the roster is, everybody. And I wouldn't take it as a shot to Breslow. I would take it as a shot of maybe the team, meaning organizationally, believed in these guys. And right now, they are what they are. 617-779-0985. I'll save the Yankees numbers. Alex Cora versus the Yankees second halves because, woof, they are not good. I just saw a Street Team Joe walk in with food, and now I want to know. What do you think? Mozzarella sticks? I don't know why. I feel like I smell mozzarella sticks, guys.
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea what Joe ordered up tonight.
It's got, like, I don't know why am I feeling cheesy? Is it because of the Cheez-Its last night? Like, I can only imagine what that kid ordered for food during the break. But you know what? I think we should do an unboxing after this. What do you think? Oh, and speaking of unboxing, it sounds like that the Patriots have been rattling the box or cage of a team around the league for a certain player. We'll find out who. Coming up after this on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox in action right now, taking on Baltimore. Coming off a loss last night, now 2 in a row. Walker Buehler on the mound. He's been clean in one inning, but he's battling with one out right now. Runner on second base with no score.
McLaurin, who's about to be 30, Hendrickson, who's going to be 31. Micah Parsons is a different conversation, but would take a lot of money and even more capital for a team that obviously has needs to fill in the future. So to me, I think this was just Elliott saying, yeah, we would consider anything, but what am I actually getting on the table?
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. You know, I feel like our very own video editor extraordinaire, Jake, he'd be a great sit-down host. He's just very good at, like, pulling up a seat and being like, hey, what's up, man? I wanted to just talk to you about something. And it could be about anything. It could be about, like, hey, I watched the Arizona State football East-West game, and I'm going to tell you right now that quarterback's going to be pretty good this year.
He's got a very calming presence.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, you know what? Golly, yeah, like, I agree with you. I just feel like maybe Jake could be like a sit-down host.
Street Team Joe wants you to know that he looks up to Jake as a mentor, and then he found out that Jake was much younger than him.
Well, no, right? It doesn't matter age. You could be, well, I guess in my life.
He has a very wise presence about him.
I will say this. In my life, most of my mentors were older than me. So I actually love that combination. The fact that maybe one of your mentors could be younger than you. I love that. Anyways.
Tyler Milliken is my mentor.
That's right. And you're older than him, right?
By a couple years, I think, yeah.
See, it happens. That's kind of a funny little, well, we could do that another night. By the way, just real quick, do you have an uncle who's younger than you?
No, I know I do not.
No, I know people that have uncles that are younger than their nephew. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I gotcha.
Just, never mind. Well, we can do that one another day as well. But anyways, Jake just pulls up a seat, and we're like, I feel like he's Phil Donahue. Or does, I don't even know who daytime hosts are anymore. Anyways, did you see the smoke going on regarding Mr. Hendrickson of Cincinnati? As you heard in the clip there, that was BST last night. Andrew Callahan talking about Elliott Wolf potentially swinging a big trade, even with a first-round pick. I still don't buy it. I think the Patriots should be in on everybody. I will always say that. The Patriots should be on anybody. Hey, this guy's available. Patriots. This guy. It's like the Red Sox, who are the interest kings, but now it's really just the Patriots who are desperate for talent because they need it. They do. It is a little bit embarrassing, but you know what? I do want the team to be in on everybody, and I think at least they're looking into it. When it comes to the three big potential players that aren't with their teams, McLaurin, Hendrickson, Micah Parsons. I rank Micah Parsons number one. I don't think the Patriots are in a situation to acquire Micah Parsons. It's not that they don't have the money. It's just that giving up multiple potential first-round picks for Micah Parsons does not help the team for the future. So although I think he's a legit game changer, Micah Parsons would be the best player on the Patriots. Duh. But he would be. The McLaurin thing, it sounds like the money's coming down a little bit more. Maybe it's 26, 28 million. He wants 30. Like, you're fighting over a couple $1 million to play with Jaden Daniels. Get back to work, bro. And should I remind you that if you look at what the Bengals did last year, Jamar Chase didn't even take a rep and signed his contract and played week one, but they lost to the Patriots. So I just want to remind Washington, get that thing done sooner than later. He's important to you. The whole Bengals thing, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They loaded up on offense. They're all about Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, and I don't even know if their offensive line's any good, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, I don't even know who's playing defense for them. But I do know that Hendrickson's one of the best defensive ends in all of football, one of the best defensive linemen in football. But is it worth potentially giving up assets on your team and a high second, third round pick? I'd say yes, but you're still looking at a 30-year-old with maybe a 3-year window. I just don't know if the team's in that ballpark. But you know what? They should be calling. So I saw this a little while ago with the report of the Patriots showing interest in trading for Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. What could a potential trial trade look like? So I wanted to explore. The Patriots would get Trey Hendrickson. The Bengals would get a third-round pick, Kyle Duggar, and Marcus Jones. Would you do that deal, Skaz? Would you trade a third-round pick, Kyle Duggar, and Marcus Jones for Trey Hendrickson and give him a new contract?
No.
See, I would. But my thing is, are the Bengals doing that?
Yeah, I don't think the Bengals are doing that either.
Yeah, that's where I stand. Maybe you look at it from a Patriots point of view.
Both. I'm out either way. But the Bengals said they want a young stud defensive player for Trey Hendrickson.
I think it would be a second-round pick in Keon White.
That doesn't interest me either, really.
And I think it should interest them, though.
Keon White has 5 sacks in his career, I believe.
Yeah.
But
it was the Gerard Mayo thing. It was in his way.
And he was demoted this week, wasn't he?
Yes, by Calavion Chason.
So, yeah, I don't know if his trade value is really skyrocketing right now.
So the Pats sift around. Didn't sound like that worked out. Ryan Cowden, you know him? Works with Elliott Wolf.
I've heard the name, yeah.
He was asked about trading for a top player. Ryan Cowden said that there's a lot of nuance, and it's not as easy as people think. Said it takes 2 sides and sometimes 3 with the player. Oh, so you mean to tell me that if the Patriots and Bengals actually agreed to a deal, that would be 2 sides, but Hendrickson could say no? Huh? Could that be that another player wouldn't want to play for the New England Patriots? Have we brought that up yet? Because here we are battling about trading this, and that. Does Hendrickson want to come to New England? Why? He's on the Bengals. He's the best defensive player on the Bengals. They're a Super Bowl contender. Why would he want to go from the Bengals to the Patriots? Because if it's just about the money, I don't want Hendrickson. That guy should be playing in meaningful games. People think the Patriots will be doing that this year, maybe next year. But doing that trade, you're going to get 1 or 2 years. I wouldn't do it. Yesterday, I was in. Today, I'm out. And I bet you Hendrickson's out too. But there's a lot of smoke there. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on or nothing is going on. There is a lot of smoke. You know, what's that segment that they do at night? You know what I'm talking about, Scabs? When things get hot and they go like this, there's a lot of smoke regarding the Patriots ready to make moves. They're not doing anything. There's just a lot of smoke. 617-779-0985. Smoky in here. Yeah, like they're going to get Terry McLaurin. Just give him the $28 million. I don't like the way the Washington's approaching this thing. And last night, did you see both Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow just throwing their body around in preseason games? What the hell are they doing? That was Drake May would be freaking out. Instead, we're freaking out about his, sailing a few footballs. Now, speaking of sales, the Celtics sale went through, and we heard from one of our favorites. We'll get into that. We got Patriots stuff. We got the Red Sox on the table as well. Watching Yoshida in left field is not fun. I just saw him track down a ball. Not good. Not good. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
I will say the night show has been very pro Celtics for the last couple of years because they deserve it. Some people would call it green teaming, Skaz. I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know if I'd consider it really pro Celtics or more just factual, but yeah.
I was going to say that.
So they were the best team in the league and they would win the title, and then they did.
They did.
And then we said they choked hard against the Knicks, which they did.
I just want to be consistent that in this time slot, because we did get Blad. Let's not remember. Blad is you got it wrong. But I just want to let you know for at least 500 days, we were right. Can we use that as a take at the end of the year? All right, so going back to the Celtics winning the championship that year, trading Marcus Smart, getting Kristaps Porzingis, acquiring Drew Holiday, all those things. They were the best team in the NBA. Like, I called them front runners. Remember, I got crushed for that? I mean, they are front runners. Let's call it what it is. The problem was nobody could keep up with them. They slowed down this year. But, should I remind you that they won the championship or no?
Then they choked. You can't forget the choke, Joe.
Well, hang on. They won the championship. They brought the entire team back. Except for, like, one player.
O'Shea Brissett.
Man, they really missed him. But during the regular season at times, they were the best team. They did have lulls. There was talks about a sale potentially, right? I did ask if that could be anything to do with the team and their success. It probably did. I would say it probably did not impact them. Would you agree?
It would be an excuse to say it did.
Okay, so we agree that it didn't impact them. And in the end, they rolled with Kristaps Porzingis, who they couldn't depend on, and Drew Holiday had some sort of injury where it literally cost them in a trade. They also lost Jason Tatum, which isn't an excuse because they were going to be down 3-1 in the series anyways. And in the closeout game, Jaylen Brown fouled out with the whole quarter to go. They tapped out. I said that every team tapped out against the Celtics, which was true. That take I rode for 500 days. I feel like we should get a title, right? Celtics best team for 500 days, right? Maybe we could put a 500
Whoa.
up. Could we put a 500 like Wilt? Best team for 500 days. Then they choked. The worst part about this entire thing is that it's the New York Knicks that did this to the Celtics. I even said it at the time. That's going to be the worst thing about this. So now the sale has happened. It's official. After some crunching of the numbers, Bill Chisholm will actually be the governor. Although a couple of paperwork moves, Wick will still be here until 2028. Do you think that has anything to do with the team going forward, Skaz?
I think it's more of a figurehead position than anything else.
Thank you. That was a paperwork move.
Speaking of paperwork, Joe, your guy today, the lengthy statement.
So, I'm Team Pegs, everybody. I'm Team Pegs. I thought he got iced out. He did. I think Wick iced him out. But in a letter today, he wrote, "Congrats to Bill Chisholm and his team on the closing of the Celtics transaction. Below is a statement from me reflecting on this important news." There's this thing called the high road. A lot of people take it. I try to take it, Skez, because it's the road less traveled. I like to go high because low, it's too packed down there. There's a lot going on down there. I just prefer to go the less traveled road. As a lifelong Celtics fan and a co-owner and managing partner for the past 23 years, the Celtics' success has always been and will continue to be what's most important to me. My wife, Judy, and her 4 children, who grew up as Celtics fans, were all in supporting me, the team, and our community through the Shamrock Foundation. Their support was extraordinary and made the journey even more special. I will always be forever grateful to the fans of New England for their passion for the team and kindness to me and our family. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm waiting to know when Wick Grossbeck's name gets mentioned. All right, he talks about being a super fan as part of the organization. I want to get the good stuff.
I got it for you, Joe.
All right, please read it for me.
So, yes, you're going through the slideshow there. It is 4 parts. The third page is what we're looking for here. This is what stood out to me. I was blessed to work alongside amazing basketball minds, including Red Auerbach, Chris Wallace, Danny Ainge, Brad Stevens, Doc Rivers, Joe Mazzulla, Austin Ainge, and Mike Zarin. Yeah, he goes on to mention the legends of Celtics past. No Wick mention in there, which I can understand. But then when do you get Wick mentioned? The business side of the Celtics organization.
Oh, the business side.
Was also defined by excellence. It was a pleasure to work with Wick Grousbeck, Bob Epstein, and the entire investment group, as well as the Celtics world-class management team, including Rich Gotham, Bill Resfelder, Sean, other guys. But so, yes, I'd like I think that was a little strategically placed there. But, yes, business side of the Celtics, which was Wick, even though Pags, no mention of Father Wick, of
I did not see
Mr. Grousbeck.
Did not see Irv on that.
I have yet to see.
That would have been a great shot, though.
Yeah.
Thank you to Irv and no Wick.
That would have been great. But yes,
you know what?
No mention of Irv, who actually did own the team.
He went high.
Maybe Pags is upset at Irv. Maybe Pags is Team Wick in this whole thing.
I think. Skaz, I don't know if we have enough time, but I wanted to read it. Because Steve Pagliuca was not happy. And I'll read it for you. We made a fully guaranteed and financed offer at a record price. We had no debt or private equity money that would potentially hamstring our ability to compete in the future. Because we know that Sixth Street's a private equity firm, right? Pagliuca himself made his fortune at Bain, one of the best-known PE companies in the world, and is now a senior advisor there. We know about the Celtics numbers. But Pagliuca acknowledged that the team's upcoming tax situation in his letter, and he said he would not cut costs as the owner. Quote, I recruited new partners with deep resources and expertise in technology and international markets to maximize the Celtics. Successes to ensure we can always compete for championships. Luxury taxes be damned. I just wanted to drive that one home a little bit. I will never stop being a Celtic fan. And if the announced transaction does not end up being finalized, my partners and I are ready to check back into the game and bring it home to help continue what the Celtics do best, win. He said, luxury taxes be damned. How does it look today? I don't know. I don't know if we could trust him, but you know what, Skez? I believe him, B. I believe him. I believe him. Luxury taxes be damned. Instead, here we are talking about how do they get under the luxury tax. What a difference a year makes. 617-779-0985. We'll get to the headline here. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports.
From the Telfair Type Studios, it's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox in action right now against Baltimore over at Fenway Park. Walker Buehler is on the mound tonight. He's coming off a pretty decent outing. Let's see how the Sox do tonight. And, well, the score at the moment is 1-0 Red Sox. That's good. They have a lead. You know why they have a lead? Did you know that Connor Wong scored on a disengagement violation? What the hell is that?
That's a fancy word for a balk, I believe.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I would have used that in my life, Skaz. It was a disengagement violation. It would be like a mulligan.
It's a self-miscommunication.
Yes. A disengagement violation. Anyways, not much else going on. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts leader in drain cleaning and pipe blending. Drains by James. Slow drain, clogged drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
Come on, let's face it. Your summer barbecue, it's just training camp for tailgate season. And Patriots training camp is where the Sports Hub will be as the team gets ready for a new season with a new coach, Mike Vrabel. Keep it on the Sports Hub, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Patriots. 98.5.
I'm no longer, I'm not like really a fan anymore. Like we cover the teams, and I have a rooting interest for work-related reasons. Patriots have been bad the last few years. I was a season ticket holder for years. Like, I look at the Patriots differently now. When I watched the Patriots, it was with Tom Brady. Now it's like looking at it differently. When I watch the Red Sox, I'm like, that's not the Red Sox tradition. Like, no. The Celtics, like, that was building that thing back up and being one of the best teams in the NBA and national TV games and people coming into the Garden. Like, it was real. Like, that was something. Like, that was a vibe, and they were the best team, and were put together the best. But because of money. But yet, you had a guy who had a fully funded deal to take over. Like, literally passing the torch. Fully funded. And they didn't do right by him. Like, that bothers me. That's what I think, just to bring it up, like, isn't that why people are worried about the private equity firm? Like, isn't that why you don't like it? Listen, I don't know anything. I literally don't know anything when it comes to this stuff. I worked in tech for a long time, and I understand that it's about, how your stocks can be better and how you can continue to, just make more money and become profitable and get more stakeholders and investors. Like, that's business. I get it. But if that's what they're doing with the Celtics, man, they sold to the wrong guy. And I know the guy's from here, but they tore this thing down, man. They tore it down when somebody wanted to take it and promised luxury taxes be damned.
You're falling under Pag's spell right now, Joe.
No, you know what?
It's a lot easier to say everything Pag said when you don't own the team.
I just want to say, you're right. You know why? Him doing that today? Play with the old heartstrings.
Yeah, if Pags was the owner, if Wick was still the owner, Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis would still not be here.
I know, Skaz.
I don't believe that any ownership group was keeping them.
I think where I'm going with it is Pags did this. It was strategic.
Of course. it always is.
And it got me.
And that's what he's going for.
That's what he was going for. He got me.
But it's a lot easier to say all that when it's not actually your money. When it's your money in theory.
I know. I just want to I'm trying to relate that everything that Pags wrote, he took the high road. He talked about mentors, talked about business side, right? Said he's always going to be a fan. He said all the right things, man. He did everything perfectly. So we say. So we think. And yeah, the reason why I feel the way that I do right now, you should too. And Skaz is right. They were probably going to move on from Porzingis and Drew Holiday no matter what. And without Jason Tatum, it does change things. It does. It does. I just don't want to sit here and accept it. I don't want to just accept that they blew up the team to get under the taxes. It doesn't sit well with me. And so what Pags did today, it worked, Pags. You got me. And you got me talking about it on the radio. It worked. It pulled at my heartstrings. Because now I am looking at the Celtics a little different. Now I am looking at it as, do they look at this as just an investment, or do they want to win basketball games? And if you want to sell me, well, Joe, maybe if they get under the luxury tax this year, they can go all in next year. Fine. It's just, I think we have every reason to feel as though this wasn't a basketball move. Because I don't feel that it is. 617-779-0985. You know what, guys? You're right, though. They were going to make these moves anyways. Or at least some of the moves. Like, all these moves that they made, like, they have 9 guys gone. 9! Not saying they would have kept Luke Cornett or whatever. Like, I'm not saying all that.
I think if Jason Tatum's healthy, your argument for keeping Cornett and maybe some of the ancillary pieces is stronger, but I don't think if it was Wick, if it was Pags, Porzingis and Holiday are not here.
Those quotes about luxury taxes be damned were before Tatum got hurt, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, because it was before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Funny, though, huh? How that still resonates. See what I mean? Pags comes out the man, right? He missed out on the other team. Now he's going to bring a WNBA team to Boston.
Well, if the WNBA lets him. A lot of obstacles, apparently, to get a team in Boston for some reason.
Can Pags close deals?
Well, there's another thing there, Joe. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know.
I'm Team Pags.
And look, I like Pags. I like certainly what he puts into print. But it's all just that. We have not seen it in practice. We've seen it in theory.
I'm on the side right now of this. I need to see Joe Mazzulla be like a coach who develops, and I got to see if Brad Stevens really thinks Luka Garza and Josh Minot could be something.
Oh, so instead of Pags giving you all this, now you're going to buy the Stevens spell of Josh Minot and Luka Garza.
Yes, because
it's hope, Joe.
I feel
it's hope,
and it's a terrible thing, right? Hope is the worst thing. Can drive a man crazy as you watch Shawshank Redemption. No. If Brad didn't find guys he thinks could win and Joe Mazzulla can't do it, this is all strictly a financial move. You're banking on a lot here. Nick's in the car. Nick.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
How you doing?
I was just calling because I've worked for multiple private equity groups and see what they do. So the good news is that these guys are probably going to look to flip the Celtics within about 5 years. And the bad news is that it's going to be such a stripped down operation that maybe even Jason Tatum won't be there. Pags is looking to buy the WNBA team so that he can have the justification to build an arena in Boston, and then maybe that helps him pivot to rebuy the Celtics.
Okay, you know what's funny? I've heard this from not like I don't have real sources. You know what I'm saying? But what you're saying, I've heard.
Oh, cool. Well, hopefully there's some fire where the smoke is.
Yeah. And again, like my sources are like Joey from the block. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I hear you.
Like I don't have anything credible on that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I hear you. All I know is my personal experience is these guys will flip things as soon as they turn it profitable, but they strip it down.
Could the high road that we are speaking of from Pags today be I'm using the word foreshadowing as of a hint to something to happen? Doesn't have to be bad. It could just be a hint to something happens, and maybe they are stripped down and it's bad.
Yep.
All right, well, I appreciate your insights, Nick. Thank you.
Absolutely, buddy. Thanks.
Take care. That's what we needed. Because again, hey, how's in Everett today, guys?
A lot of sources in Everett.
I was looking at the plant across the street, thinking about how can they get like ferry service all day? I don't know. I was just thinking, what could they do over here? They're trying to build a golf course, I think. You hear about that?
Someone's always trying to build a golf course, Joe.
No, but what if there could be a casino golf course, guys, in Everett, Massachusetts?
Still waiting for that stadium, Joe.
Well, I think that could be coming.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for 20 years now, my entire life.
Is the big dig officially done? I don't know. because that thing's been going on for a long time too. But yeah, and I heard, somebody using the accent. Yeah, dude, it sounds like Peg's trying to buy the WNBA team so he can build a stadium, and then they sell it back to Pegs. And I went, huh.
I've heard that, but sell it back to Wick.
That's what I heard.
I've heard.
Oh,
yes.
Wick. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, Wick. Oh.
That's why it was Chisholm in the first place. Pure speculation, obviously.
I just want Pegs to own a stadium, and the Celtics have to rent from Pegs. That is my mission.
It might be his, too.
And then he could be their slumlord. Why does that make me laugh? I don't know why. I love that. Anyways, let's get well, you know what? Bill Speros knows a little something about Everett, I'm sure. Why don't we get his thoughts? He's joining us next from bookies.com, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray.
thinking cheese. Maybe it was because of all that cheese at pizza talk that we had last night. But Joe got this gigantic pretzel with a side of cheese. So I was thinking mozzarella sticks, but he went pretzel and buffalo wings. That's kind of a odd mix. Anyways, speaking of odd mix, we've had an odd mix of topics on the show tonight. And, well, when it comes to odd mixes, why don't we bring in Bill Speros, him of the bookies.com and the Boston Herald. And he joins us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Bill, how are you tonight, bud?
I am the pretzel and chicken wing mix of Boston media.
I like that. Listen, Street Team Joe in there, his kid's got an appetite like you can't believe, but that was a nice little mix. Bill, I went on a diatribe a little while ago, and this whole I know, yeah, me.
No way.
You know what happened?
Can't believe that.
I know, Bill, but you know what happened? I think what Steve Pagliuca did today pulled at my heartstrings, and it worked. Right? He took the high road. He talked about all his mentors and thanked everybody and said Wick as a business partner. And he just took that high road. And you know what? I remember him saying, luxury taxes be damned. Now, that was before Jason Tatum's injury. Yeah, anyway, I today feel like Wick got iced out. Wick iced him out, excuse me. Pagliuca, took the high road today, and he's going to get the WNBA team, hopefully. But it worked. It worked on me. And now I am looking a little weird at the new ownership.
I've been looking weird at him since day one.
Yeah, so is it about basketball, Bill? That's my point.
No. I think Pags was afraid he was going to end up in the 300s if he didn't get in line. Mm-hmm. But with all those part owners and limited partners, he might be in the second row. But yeah, he was definitely headed for the 300s there for a while. But he probably had a nice come to Wick meeting, and he still has apparently a piece of the action for a while. But no, he clearly got iced out, and it's indicative of where ownership in sports is headed. I mean, the Celtics, had their John Y. Brown error, accent on error, of course. I mean, he almost forced Red Auerbach to go to New York, and now they're in the John W. Henry era. They're corporately owned entity. They have venture capital guys. They have high tech guys. One of their new owners, his dad brought gambling to Macau. His dad was known as the king of gambling in China. He also has 17 siblings, and his dad was 73 when he was born. That's going to be a fun story. The Celtics have become another spreadsheet item, much in the same way that the Red Sox have become. And it's great to hear that Wick and Brad are going to be calling the shots, but they're going to be calling the shots in the same way that Craig Breslow calls the shots. Okay, John, what can we spend? They're going to have a budget. I think we kind of have a good idea what it is in the same way we know where the Red Sox are going to spend to. These guys are going to spend to maybe the first apron if need be, but that's it. It was kind of an epic flim-flam scam when Wick gave those guys those extensions, because those contracts were never going to be honored here. Certainly once the team became put up for sale, and probably even before that. So that was 180% disingenuous kind of, empty PR move. I'm sure they figured they could make another run at it this past spring, but obviously they couldn't. So this was only going to be a 1 or 2 year thing with all these guys, because no one can afford a $220 million tax. And you think about it, these people scraped up $6 billion to buy this team. I would imagine Dollar Bill has the majority of it, and then everybody else had to come up with the other half. So, he's got limited partners he's got to deal with. He just gave the Grousbeck $6 billion, $3 billion out of his pocket. What kind of return would he have gotten on that $3 billion if he just bought municipal bills? So, it's great to hear that he's a fan. I mean, that's all wonderful. Linda Pizzuti's a fan too. But yet they traded Rafi Devers for a bag of balls and only made up half the money they paid him to Roman Anthony. So I don't really care if he's a fan. I mean, that's nice. But, is he going to allow Wick or Brad? And Brad says, hey, I need this guy now that Jason's back. we can make another run with this group, but we're going to go over the first apron. Is Dollar Bill going to sign off on that? I have no idea.
All right, Bill, you wrote an article in the Herald today. Can you break down some of these owners? Sounds like some may have had their hands in gambling, some with the Dolphins, et cetera, et cetera. Can you mention some of these partners that are involved in the new ownership group?
Well, some of the names are pretty familiar, actually. And some of them had been, a lot of these weren't new names. It's hard to say that this was a surprise with some of these people. Trying to punch up the story, if you don't mind.
No, it's okay. But you mentioned a couple of guys here. Beal, who is a Boston native.
Beal, I mean, he's a well-known guy. I mean, he's been around Boston for a long time.
Yeah, the guy who runs Klaviyo, which is a big company, tech company in Boston. I know that.
Mittal, he was working in Boston for Credit Suisse, I believe. I apologize if I got the bank wrong, but he had worked in Boston in the early 90s, actually, mid to early 90s. So he's like Mario Ho, whose dad I was talking about. He went to MIT. Mittal also went to MIT, I believe. Another fellow, Andrew Blakey. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. He's another one, software guy. So you have a lot of software people. You have a lot of high-tech people. You have a lot of people who, have made a lot of money. And, and Robert Hale, Hale Communications, not necessarily high-tech, maybe old school high-tech, telecommunications much more so than like AI or what some of the other folks do. So you have kind of a mix, but they're all either billionaires or multimillionaires in the hundreds of millions. They do have the money to put forward toward the team. I mean, there's no issue of the team being in any financial peril by any stretch. Even when you have a lot of people putting a lot of money, it's really much more a question of whether or not these people are willing to, forego a return on their capital for a period of time. At least maybe not this year, but starting next year when Tatum is back in that window. What are we going to, maybe 2 or 3 more years in that window with these guys? Are they going to be willing to hold their breath and pay these, ridiculous taxes to put up a team that maybe obviously not this year, but in a year or two could compete and contend like they had with this previous team? And that's the real question with the Celtics. And we're not going to know that till next year. We're not going to know that until Tatum's 100% healthy and they feel like they can make a run with those guys at their core. And then we're going to know what this ownership group is all about.
All right, talking about Bill Speros, bookies.com. You can read some of his work over at the Herald as well. I just wanted a quick question on the Red Sox here. They're battling tonight. They're up 1-0 at the moment, but they're now gone into their bullpen with men on base, so we'll see what happens here. But Cora had a couple of quotes, and normally I would look at it that he's taking a shot at ownership or the GM. We're in the winning business, he says. And then his other one, we always talk about his other quote was, "This is who we are. This is the roster we have." And
there you go right there.
No, but you know what? Normally, you're right. Normally we read that and we say, that's a shot. I didn't for some reason. Maybe I'm different, but what were your thoughts on hearing that originally?
I don't know. I think it's the same old Cora. Look, we know he got his money last year, right? But he's still the same guy. So naturally, remember, just like a week ago, they were in everything is awesome mode, right? Mm-hmm. They were like, everything's awesome. Screw Rafi. This team is smiles and giggles. And then what do you get now? Now you get, this is the team we have. Why? Because they blew a game to the Marlins and they The arson squad came in last night and imploded again. So naturally, he's going to complain about the roster when the team isn't winning or not performing, or the fact that we all know he's destroyed this bullpen. I mean, that's his MO. He's wrecking these guys. For whatever reason that they had their little run where they were getting all these quality starts, right? I mean, what did they have? Some untoward amount of quality starts over 35 games. That hasn't happened of late, and voila. They're losing to the Marlins. Their bullpen last night, Jordan Hicks. I mean, that guy, oh my God, he's like 103 octane. I mean, you put him on the fire and whoosh, it just goes, 10 million degrees centigrade. So, they don't have a quality bullpen that's going to get them anywhere in the playoffs, right? I got them at plus 230 to make the playoffs right before they went on that little run against the Yankees and Rays. And I still feel pretty good about that bet because the American League is terrible. But how far can they go in the playoffs, right? I mean, anything can happen in a short series, but they got no shot in a 7-game series against the Tigers or, any strong American League team, or God forbid they get to the World Series and get demolished by the Padres or the Phillies.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about them, what happens when they get there. I think it's important that they get there, and then they become a destination again. Maybe they spend more money, and it's good for the young players. So I get you. I'm with you. Like, they get there, they don't have really a middle-of-the-lineup hitter, and they don't have a bullpen. So I agree, but I still think getting there is important.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but where I'm going with, what I was going to say is, if they don't get there, where does that leave Alex Cora?
Well, if they don't make the playoffs, it is a choke. It is a legit choke job at this point. Now, going into the season, you would have said, oh, my God, they make the playoffs. That'd be phenomenal, right? But what they did this year, the way they played, some of these games that they won, if they don't close this out, this is a choke job. This isn't like, oh, we fell short. This is a gag fest because they did hold that number one wildcard spot at one point. They were within 3.5 games of the lead of the division at one point. So they had a chance to, make a run at the division. And then they kind of sort of sputtered and fell back to earth. So I'm sorry, I'm grading them on a curve here, but it's a choke job if they don't make the playoffs this year. Yeah. So to your point, where does that leave Alex Cora? I think they're infatuated with this guy, to be honest with you. I think he's almost untouchable, not just because of his contract. I honestly believe that they genuinely like him. And he's in, I can only imagine those, what he's like, what he's like when he's around ownership. Keeping Linda's glass full, keeping John Henry's, keeping the AC running up to par. He's probably when Mavs was in the box there, he's probably running them, getting them drinks and stuff between innings. So, I can only imagine how, he caters to them. To make sure that he stays in their good graces. I mean, he's kind of a squirrely guy anyway, right? I mean, what did Billy Martin famously say about George Steinbrenner and Reggie Jackson? Reggie said about Billy and George Steinbrenner, one's a born liar, the other's convicted. While Alex is convicted. He's a convicted liar. So, I think he's a squirrely guy. I think he ingratiated his way into the dynamic of the Henry Pizzuti empire, and I don't think he's going anywhere until he wants to go.
All right, talking with Bill Speros, who's throwing gas on the fire there when it comes to the Red Sox. And I should mention the bullpen just blew the lead.
I know. I'm watching it out of my. I got like 20/90 vision out of my left eye. Right. I used to wear an eye when I was a kid because I was like so blind. But even out of my blind left eye, on the corner of my left eye, I can see the implosion going on. I think if you were to go out your studio and look toward Boston, you'd see a huge flame right now rising out of Fenway Park.
I'm pretty sure people.
The arson squad is in. They got a 5-alarmer going on right now.
We got to update some of that gear in the back there.
Oh, yeah.
You got Rafael Devers in there. And I see
that's not
an old K card back there, too?
That's a K card. Oh, yeah. Let me slide out of the way here, and you guys can see the office. We have writing awards. I got my little picture there when David Ortiz hit his 500th home run, my little credential.
There you go.
Little shot of Larry. Some... little Kevin Garnett, little Bill Russell Wheaties. That football is autographed by Otto Graham and Sammy Baugh. Got a Joe Namath autograph underneath there. Got a whole bunch of stuff here on the home office, you know? And when I die, they're just going to put me in this chair and mummify me. And I will be here mummified forever.
Well, I'm down with you being mummified here. Real quick, we got a couple of minutes to go here.
It'll be like the southern annex of the New England Sports Museum.
Final thing, are you having different expectations regarding the New England Patriots? What were yours heading into the season, and have they changed at all based off the preseason?
I'm loving under 8.5 wins at -120.
Me too.
I'm loving that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it like I love my dog. I don't know how they go from 4 to 9 wins. Particularly with, look, I'm all in Drake May, right? I want to be his adopted dad. I want to adopt him. But he's got to really, you talk about grading on a curve. He's on a curve this year, right? I mean, he can, he has got to go 0 on those unforced, inexcusable mistakes that he keeps making. And it's got to be frustrating. And, the fact that Anthony Richardson got, when I saw that Daniel Jones news that he beat out Anthony Richardson for the job, that should send a message to Drake May and every other young quarterback that none of this is guaranteed. None of this is guaranteed for Drake May. I mean, yeah, this was Anthony Richardson's 3rd year, but not really. I mean, he's only had 20-odd, 30 NFL starts. But that's pretty much all you're going to get. So this is it this is like the make or break year for Drake, right? I don't know how you could look at it any other way, because I'm not sure Vrabel's going to have a lot of patience, and, Kraft will be rumbling and stumbling because he brought in Josh McDaniels. So I'm not concerned about Drake May yet, but I could well be a couple of months from now, because he hasn't seemed to correct those mistakes that were such a problem last year. Oh my God, look at that pitch. So, I love him. I love him like a son. I think him and his wife are super cute together. I think it's so sweet. I love his family. I love his bio. I'm rooting for the guy. I'm just kind of afraid he's not gonna learn to stop screwing up. And again, this Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. I mean, my God, you lost your job to Daniel Jones? How bad must you be? How ineffective a quarterback must you be to lose your job to Daniel Jones?
That's a good point.
And Daniel Jones is on a 1-year deal, so he could very well be taking Drake May's job next year.
All right, Bill. Well, I'd love to do more, but we have to go to break. But what I do want to have you back on, Skaz he has got one for Bill Parcells not being in the Patriots Hall of Fame. And the more that he talks about it, the more I kind of like it. But like you, I lived it, you lived it. He should have been there a long time ago. But when that weekend happens, I'd like to have you on and we can talk some big tuna.
Oh, man, that'll be like in 5 years.
Isn't that coming up in a couple of weeks, I think?
Oh.
September 20th.
Oh, Parcells. I'm sorry. I got confused with...
the other Bill, right?
Parcells, yes. 100%.
No, you were thinking Belichick, huh?
I was. And it was that ad for the men's clinic that you guys had on before I came on. And I, with the man's chest, and all I could think about was Belichick. And,
he's got him, man.
Man, I am envious. So I'll have to come back and talk about how the great bettors of the Commonwealth bet $10 million on something called the Maharlika Filipinas Basketball League.
Filipinas?
Yeah, there was $10 billion bet on that league in the Commonwealth for an entire year, and it was all deemed illegal by the Gaming Commission. So somebody, DraftKings was fined $450,000 last month for taking credit card bets. This fine's going to be a whopper because both FanDuel and DraftKings were doing this. So this could be in the $500,000 to $1 million range fine when this thing comes down.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier in the week, but alcohol sales are down big time. Marijuana sales are up big time.
Yeah.
Gambling, He's just rising and rising.
Yeah, and we'll get the numbers. The July numbers come out tomorrow from Massachusetts. The June numbers held up really good, despite the fact that the Celtics weren't in the finals. I'm not sure what we're gonna. These are the second quarter is always dead for gambling. Across the board. But the comps, given the interest in the Patriots and the possibility of the Red Sox being in the playoffs, there's always that white whale of $1 billion in a month. And we might get to it if you have the Patriots playing well and the Red Sox in the playoffs in October. We may see $1 billion wagered in the Bay State.
Oh, dude, it's on. Like, listen, I think people have been, I call it bankroll management. Oh, I think the bankrolls will be let loose week one. It might even be this weekend, Bill, as we have college football games.
Yeah, week 0. Picks are up at bookies.com.
Oh, yeah.
Did my annual NFL average age breakdown. Got that dropping next.
I saw the mileage one you did on the Celtics schedule.
On the NBA, yeah.
Yeah.
Mavericks, Orlando's going to Sweden, or actually Germany and
that's
Germany and England. So they top the list. But Dallas, they're going to Mexico City, but that's really not that far. It's interesting. Dallas traveled the most miles of any NHL team coming up this year, and the most miles of any NBA team not going to Europe.
All right. He's Bill Speros, everybody. Check him out. Bookies.com. Check out all his work there. He writes for the Boston Herald as well. And he had a breakdown of all the ownership group, which I liked today. Bill, appreciate you. Loved seeing your hobby box that you have back there. And
this is my office / museum / mausoleum. And I will probably spend eternity in this room. Maybe in a jar, right? It could be in jar format.
Stuff Speros.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
We'll have you back on the week of the 15th. There, we'll do.
Okay, boss.
We'll do some big tuna talk, and I'm sure we'll do a lot more.
I apologize for getting my bills mixed up.
No, listen, I still call Drake Mac Jones.
You may be calling him Mac Jones.
hey.
Not by mistake. You may be doing your post game like,
right.
When did they get back?
You heard that? I did do that in post game.
I'm going to be. I got the Drake May jersey, I got the little May and ironed it over the Mac Jones jersey, right? But I may be getting a little razor and peeling off the May and going back to Mac Jones. They may need Mac Jones next year. Oof. That'd be something, huh?
Oof. All right, Bill.
You heard it here first.
All right. He's Bill Speros, everybody, bookies.com. Bill, appreciate you, bud. We'll catch up soon.
Thank you, Joe.
You got it. We got to hit the break. Thank you to Bill Speros, bookies.com. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yeah, but this is who we are. This is the rest of the.
On something called the Maharlika Filipinas Basketball League.
Filipinas.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
What was that league? I feel like I tried to Google it, but I got kicked out.
or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Packers. Let's show who's the big cheese. This is our team. Go Colts! Hey!
I knew there was some cheese. So we just had Bill Speros on from Bookies.com and the Boston Herald. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to mention some of the Colts. Like, here we are, right? We're in the post-Tom Brady era, right? How many quarterbacks have there been, Skess? Let's see. There's been Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi,
Cam Newton,
Brian Hoyer, Cam Newton, Jarrett Stidham. Am I missing any?
Probably, honestly, but no, I don't think so.
7. That sounds about right.
Brissett? Did you say Jacoby?
Oh, Jacoby Brissett's 8. That's 8. Ooh. And that's what, within 5 years? Who's the backup Mac Jones rookie year? Oh, Zappi. Wait, no, it wasn't. Who was it? Oh, no, it was Cam, right? That was Hoyer. Whatever. I just keep thinking about the Colts at this point. Like, what have they had since Peyton Manning or even Andrew Luck, for that matter? And it's not good. It's not good at all. And just thinking back on it, like, they have how many coaches have they had now? 2? Okay, here's the list of every quarterback that's thrown a pass for the Colts since Andrew Luck retired. Jacoby Brissett, Brian Hoyer, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Jacob Eason, Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger, Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, and Daniel Jones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12!
Woof.
Did I mention Drake May? 9. So the Colts have had 12. The Patriots have had 9. So let's not, Patriots shouldn't be like just off the hook either. Now the Bears, I'm sure we could do it for them too, right? Or how about Cleveland? I mean, you can just add 4 this year for Cleveland, right? All I'm saying is those aren't terrible. They're not terrible quarterbacks. Brissett's a backup. Hoyer's a backup. Phillip Rivers was on the back end. Carson Wentz, he was bad. Eason never made it. Matt Ryan was, no. Minshew was probably their best, right? Minshew was probably their best quarterback. Now, what's that saying?
The bar, Joe. The bar is low.
Woof. And all I'm saying is, if Drake May ain't the guy. Oh, we missed Joe Milton. 10.
How could we forget Joe Milton?
10. Drake May goes down.
Has Stidham start any of those games?
I threw him in there, but yeah. Wow. Here we are talking about the Colts, and the Patriots have just as many. Well, they have a few more. But if it's, Josh Dobbs, it's 11. So at least the Colts are ahead of the gang right now. Well, anyways, I got to go check on Street Team Joe. He's been gone for a little while in the editing room.
I went and checked on him last break.
Okay, I feel like I need to go in there and be like, "You good, bro?"
Yeah, he was having a little technical difficulties.
Can I just share what happens? Okay, I can explain it easily. Like, he took notes though, and the notes are hard to understand.
His own notes, you're saying?
But I know how to I know how to cut a few corners there. You know what I'm saying? No, Joe is doing everything by the book.
That's what we want.
We do. So hopefully the segment's still worth it. I love busting his balls. He's funny. All right, let's hit a break real quick in this hour of the Sports Tips. Been brought to you by good friends over at Valve Lunas and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next round through oil change at Valve Lunas and Oil Change, the official oil change at Busy People. We promised you the in or outs, And you're going to get them next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Red Sox trail 3-1 over at Fenway Park while the bullpen has struggled again. Walker Buehler, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, had 4 walks once again. He was pulled after 75 pitches. They went to Justin Wilson. Well, he gave up an earned run in an inning and a third, and then Weiser came in. He had 2 strikeouts. Then Matz came in, and, well, he had 6 pitches in an inning and a third. So they trail 3-1 right now, top of the 7th inning. Patriots, well, they're gearing up for Thursday's game versus the New York Giants. Drake May struggled again at practice today. The offensive line also struggled, but Will Campbell did not. And the Celtics the Celtics sale is official. Bill Chisholm, your owner. Headlines are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James, slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's home for sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is
For the day. And are you in or out? It's as easy as that. You can join us on our chat at youtube.com and then search 98.5 The Sports Hub. Subscribe. You can even like the page. There's a big thumbs up there. Like it. And you can join in. So Skaz will ask a question. I will give an answer. You can give an answer in chat as well. So let's crank it up. Skaz, what do we got tonight?
All right, Joe, we will start in the NFL tonight. You did a little of this with Bill Speros, and in our last segment, talking Colts starting quarterbacks, Joe. But are you in or out on Daniel Jones starting over Anthony Richardson?
I am in, and I'm a big Anthony Richardson fan. I watched what he did against the Patriots last year. I think they need to see if Daniel Jones, if it was the Giants, because clearly he has skill. Did he learn something when he was with the Rams for a little bit? I still think he's a pretty good dual-threat quarterback in the league. But what happened in New York? I think they got to give him a chance. They need to give the team a chance. They need to rely on the running game and their offensive line. And, their coach has had success with these type of quarterbacks. I still think Anthony Richardson can be a valuable piece to their team, though. Could he be used as some sort of a wildcat, right? Can he be used in the red zone? But I think Anthony Richardson's days aren't over. I just think it's best for the Colts right now for him to learn from a guy that struggled in the league and is a veteran in the league. And as we talk about, Skaz, if there's one quarterback who's had the least amount of experience coming out of college, it was Anthony Richardson.
I'm with you there, Joe. Sticking with the NFL theme, since Taylor Swift's appearance on the New Heights podcast, some books out there, your betting sites, odds have shifted to who the next Super Bowl halftime performer will be. Taylor Swift now the favorites. Her fans doing deep dives on the Easter eggs and hidden meaning behind things that could have been or maybe were hinted at in the podcast. Joe Murray, are you in or out on T Swift being the betting favorite for the Super Bowl halftime show? Not that she will do it, but being the betting favorite.
Oh, yeah. And now she has been dropping Easter eggs, like you said. Though it's one Easter egg that I'm kind of...
Oh, you're sniffing.
She mentioned sourdough. Doesn't San Francisco have a Mr. Sourdough or something like that?
Joe, this is your wheelhouse, not mine. I'm unfamiliar with San Francisco's culinary delicacies.
She also had a lot of Easter eggs regarding her new album. One time she brought a cat out with orange lipstick. There's a lot there. Who would, at this point, why wouldn't you want her?
I mean, she's too big almost for the NFL.
I'd like Metallica for San Francisco, okay? That's just my, just me.
If they didn't do Wayne in New Orleans, I don't know if they're going to do Metallica in San Francisco.
Makes me sad.
John Sirenides would be happy.
I would love to go. Do you think they'll ever send us guys to the Super Bowl?
West Coast, maybe, Joe. Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm holding out hope for that bonus before I'm holding out hope for, getting a trip to San Francisco. I don't know. That's just me, Joe. That's just me. Yes, Joe, sticking with the football theme, Phil Simms is returning to football. Phil Simms will be returning to NBC for college football games. Are we in or out on Phil Simms doing college football games?
I think he'd be pretty good. He still brings energy. I think he understands the game. Dude, you know what? I like Phil Simms. Do I think he's great? No. Do I think he's superb? What's better, superb or great?
I lean superb, Joe, but
I kind of lean superb, too. He's a professional broadcaster that played quarterback. And I think there's value for that.
All right, Joe, let's head to the world of TV and movies for this next one. Ben Stiller is producing a pickleball comedy, Joe, called The Dink, starring Jake Johnson.
Yeah, I saw this.
It follows the story of a washed-up tennis pro who, desperate to save a struggling club and earn his father's respect, is compelled to break a sacred vow and do the unthinkable, Joe, play pickleball. Are we in or out on a Ben Stiller pickleball comedy?
In. But I will say this. I didn't like the Ben Stiller role in Happy Gilmore, too.
Oh, you didn't like the return of whatever his name is there? He was fine. He was much better in the first one.
Yeah.
As for most things.
This better be good. I'm in. Better be good, though. Is he the Happy Gilmore of pickleball? The Dink?
All right, Joe, we'll stick with TV. Barstool Sports, you're very familiar with. They have their first scripted television series coming out, I believe, tonight called Les Mascots. The show follows a half-baked film major, Harry Settle, also known as Little Sasquatch, a local kid from L.A., who was sent to New York City to stay with and make a documentary about his uncle, John Feidelberg, a supposedly ultra-successful Broadway actor. However, upon arrival, he discovers a hidden truth. His uncle shares a cramped apartment with an eccentric roommate, Tom Scavelli, and worse, they scrape by performing as Elmo and Cookie Monster in Times Square. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a Barstool Sports scripted series on the characters in Times Square?
It's got to be good, right?
You would think so.
Like, why would Barstool get involved in this?
I think they made it. It's like theirs.
That's
it's
what I'm
their
trying to
guys.
say. Like, wouldn't you rather just put a bunch of guys in costume and make them look stupid and get arrested and just make that the bit?
Sounds good to me.
What I'm saying is this has to be better than that.
I would agree.
Am I in on it, though? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it could. It feels like it has. I think you should leave elements, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm in. Why not?
Why the hell
Original
not?
content.
Sure, let's do it in. Fine.
All right, Joe. Let's head to the world of MMA for this next one. Olympic champ Gable Stevenson.
Yes, I know him.
Did he try and do the WWE?
Yes.
Okay, well, now,
Played
Joe.
for the Buffalo Bills, too.
He is making his pro MMA debut on September 12th. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Gable Stevenson to the MMA?
Okay, I'm in. I liked him. He has a brother, too, who's pretty good. Do you ever wonder about, like, some guys who need the action? Like, is it egomaniac or is it determination? Like, what is it? Like Tim Tebow, right?
Well, CM Punk tried MMA. I don't think that worked out for him.
He had a background in Muay Thai. He tried. He got his ass kicked. It's a different beast, right? It's scripted, entertainment versus. But when I bring up guys, like I mentioned Tim Tebow, right? He went and played baseball. Was it because he was like, and when I use the word egomaniac, I don't want that to sound negative. Did he need to be in the limelight? Like, did he need to prove something to himself or others? Like, what is that? So I just look at it as like Gable Stevenson was a awesome, like, amateur wrestler.
Olympic champ, I believe.
Went to WWE, didn't really work out. Then he tried to be a Buffalo Bill, didn't work out. Now he's MMA. I'm just wondering, like, is he trying to use what he was great at as a career? I want to see what happens in his first match. Maybe he thinks he can. You know what? I'm actually kind of curious right now. I'm in. You know why? Can a guy with a Greco-Roman background, one of the best in the world, by the way, can that work against someone with mixed martial arts skills? That's interesting to me. I just think it's two different things, Gaz, but I don't know. Like Stipe Miocic is a great fighter, but he also has a little bit of amateur Brock Lesnar had an amateur background, right? Became just an MMA monster. He was a monster. He is a monster. How does it work now? I'm curious on that one.
All right, Joe. Well, I feel like we've done this one a couple times, but it's happening again, Joe. 2 years after the Ocean Gate disaster, another billionaire is starting a fund. Well, not even starting. He is. He's going to visit the wreck of the Titanic, Joe, just 2 years after the Ocean Gate disaster. Joe Murray, are we in or out on another billionaire trying to go to the site of the Titanic wreck?
Okay. Is this the same type of boat and all that?
I would hope that there are some more safety precautions put in place. They say in the article from the New York Post that they will not reveal the name of the billionaire because he wants to make an announcement about it. So, unfortunately, Joe, I have a feeling this will be a billionaire that we are somewhat familiar with.
Okay. Why can't we send a drone?
Yeah, or just nobody. Yeah, James Cameron did it.
You ever see like Into the Blue?
I don't know if I've seen that one. The worst movie I've ever seen was Dinner for Schmucks. That's the worst movie I've ever watched. It has very entertaining parts because it's so bad, but I think it's the worst movie I've ever seen.
When growing up, the Dedham movie theater, which is now Legacy Place, there used to be a movie theater there. And we used to take the 34E bus, and we would give like the old man that worked the counter $1, and we could hang at the movie theater all day. And I think we watched like Batman Forever, and then we snuck into another movie called Hope Floats. It was the worst movie I ever saw. There's actually some really bad movies out there. But nothing's worse than going to a movie theater and a bad movie.
Hope Floats came out, 1998. It has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, Joe.
Oh. People are telling me it's the Megalodon.
Yeah. Since when are we worried about good grammar accuracy?
Megalodon. Megalong-dong. Anyways, let's. Do you think Mike Kadlick saw the Megalong-dong or part 2?
It's only one way to find out, Joe.
Wait, what was the thing again that Bill Spear? Do you have that still saved? What, the Filipinas? What was he talking about? People are talking about the Meg.
Hold on, the computer is upset at this audio. One second.
The Filipinas? What did he say?
From my quick understanding of the segment, what happened, he was talking about bets that were placed in Massachusetts on a league that was then deemed not allowed. Yeah. So
but I think the league was called the Filipinas.
I think that was a team in the league, but I could be mistaken. We'll give it a listen.
Okay. On something called the Maharlika Filipinas Basketball League.
Filipinas.
So it was the league. Tough to forget that one.
It's a basketball league, I'm being told. Well, let's talk to Mike Kadlick. He of Sports Illustrated CLNS. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, I'm Joe Murray. Well, Jordan Hicks entered the game. And then the fire alarm went off at Fenway. And while they were talking to the security, my buddy Anthony Ferrullo, shout out Anthony, was the security guard on duty talking to the umpires. And I video recorded it, and then Bird sent him personal photos. So Anthony is the star of the show tonight of the fire alarm at Fenway Park. Shout out to you, Anthony Ferrullo, if you're listening. Anyways, let's go to the old expert hotline. Let's bring in Mike Kadlick, he of SICLNS. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Joe. I'm good. How are you? We're getting there. We're getting very close to football season. Week 1's just around the corner, and I'm pretty fired up, so thanks for having me.
Okay. You worried about the offensive line?
Yeah, I am, and I have been for, really the entire offseason, Joe, to be frank. I know that there is a little bit more, I guess there was a little bit more optimism, just given the fact that, okay, it looked like they were at least going to have their front 5 guys be the same 5 guys, and that they decided on that early, when Will Campbell was here, and it was Will Campbell, it was apparently Cole Strange at first, it was Garrett Bradbury, it was Onwenu, it was Morgan Moses, and they were ready to roll. And the one thing they've done with that, really, is they've kept Will Campbell at left tackle, and I think that has been the right thing to do to get him settled in there. But outside of that, there's been a lot of rotation at right tackle. Morgan Moses hasn't been out there for the majority of the summer, trying to kind of get himself right as he enters, I think his age 34 season. Garrett Bradbury has not looked great at the center position. He's been okay in run protection. Pass pro has been subpar. Left guard spot has been a turnstile of players, at least. They've kind of rotated everyone in there. Jared Wilson looks to be the guy now, which I don't hate, but it's also tough to have 2 rookies on the left side. The only real, I guess, standstill and somebody who's been there and done it is Mike Onwenu. And we're kind of back to square one, where this has been one of the holes on this team for the last 5-6 seasons now at this point, it feels like, and they just haven't done enough to get it right. So, long story short, Joe, yes, I am worried about the offensive line and them continuing to try and protect Drake May.
Oh, yeah. They've had multiple years to get it done, and here they are now a week before the final preseason game, and they don't know who their center and left guard is.
They're still shuffling it, Joe. That's the thing, that it's like, yes, I understand that training camp is to get reps and try things out and get guys ready for each other. But at the same time, offensive linemen, and Jared Wilson said it best yesterday when we spoke to him down in Foxborough, playing offensive line is having 5 guys seeing the same thing through the same set of eyes. Or that was the Dante Scarnecchia way. He basically said, we're 5 guys, but we really have to be 1 guy doing it all together. So the only way you get that is reps together. You played offensive line. You know that. You want to be able to trust the guy next to you and know that guy's doing what he's supposed to be doing and vice versa. And if you don't get the reps together, you're not going to get that chemistry. And right now, as they continue to change out center and change out left guard, and outside, again, you're worried still about the bookends with Campbell and Moses. It's not a good look as we sit here only 3 weeks away from the season opener.
What happened to Layden Robinson and Caden Wallace?
What happened was the Patriots swung and missed on draft picks once again. And the only real hit, if you want to call it that right now, is Drake May from last season. You're looking at Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. They don't look like they're going to be a part of this roster. Caden Wallace and Layden Robinson might be the same thing. That was your 3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick last year. Robinson and Baker, 4th rounders.
And Robinson looked promising, didn't he, at times? Like, I kind of thought he was decent there. And now there's this Tyrese Robinson in there? Who's that guy?
Yeah, it's another Robinson. It's not Layden. Layden did look pretty good last year. Now, from what I understand, I think it's been pretty difficult for him to pick up the Josh McDaniels system and knowing what to do along the offensive line, and just can't get it right. He's maybe a bit of a slower learner, and you need guys who are physical and also able to pick things up quickly, and I just don't think it's catching on for him, which is unfortunate because at least in the run game last year, Joe, he was a mauler for a little while. Yeah. So it's tough to not have him back. And again, that's yes, they did take the swings last year, which I thought was a good thing because they did have to try and get the depth back and take swings. And even if you miss, right, that's what the draft is. You're never going to hit on all your picks. You have to take your swings. And right now it looks like those two guys are misses. I haven't done one yet, frankly, since I don't have a local writing platform, I haven't really taken the 53-man roster approach. I tweeted a couple last year. I might give it a go at the end of this preseason game. Right now, though, Layden Robinson would be off my roster, and Caden Wallace, only because of the lack of depth they've continued to have, I might still squeeze him on, but he's a swing tackle, swing guard that just hasn't been able to put it all together at the NFL level. It's really unfortunate for two guys who are still young and just haven't been able to see it click.
All right, Mike Kadlick joining us here, Sports Illustrated, CLNS. I want you to get a pen and paper, and I want you to rank the position groups on offense from best to worst. And I guess we can just do what's your top three. I have running back number one.
Pen and paper, Joe. I got it right in front of me right here. What are we doing?
So
ranking position groups?
Positions on offense, position groups.
Okay. Running back is number one. Tight end is number two.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback is number three.
A little bit of a pause there, huh?
A little bit. Wide receiver is number four, and offensive line is number five.
I'd agree with you.
Good. Look at that. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
I would say that the hesitation on quarterback, as much as we want to worry about Drake May, I do think at the end of the day, he's going to be fine. It's been a up and down last couple of weeks. He's done pretty good in joint practices. He had a tough start to last game. I think the quarterback being at 3 and that hesitation also has to do with backup quarterback, Joe. Yeah. Josh Dobbs has not been good. They're in a tough spot backup quarterback wise. And the reason I kind of weigh it that way, like sometimes I look at it in two different lenses, to be frank. Sometimes I don't really care about backup because it's so important to rely on Drake May and have him be your guy that if he gets hurt anyway, your season's probably just about over. So whatever. But there's also the development aspect and having a guy behind, which I think Dobbs would be pretty solid at. He's been around the block and whatever. But if he did have to go in a game and win them 3 or 4 games and keep them afloat, he's a guy that before this year I would have been like, okay, that's a guy who can do that. From what we've seen this summer, however, he doesn't have it. And it's unfortunate. You wonder. And I don't want to do the Joe Milton thing. I'm not going to do the Joe Milton thing. He looks like a dumpster fire again in Dallas, and he can't hit the broadside of a barn right now either. But I wonder if they could have done more, whether it be bringing another guy to be the third one other than Ben Woolridge, who's looked okay, but it's just an undrafted free agent who's a camp body right now. So it's tough. Quarterback behind Drake May is tough.
Just on the Joe Milton thing, it's not about Joe Milton. It's about the fact that just Drake May would have somebody competing with him, maybe learning with somebody else, right? Or a mentor. Like Jacoby Brissett was the mentor, right? I don't know if I put Josh Dobbs in that category, but he has played in multiple systems with different guys, and he played with Mike Vrabel, so maybe he knows how to say, hey, he's going to coach you hard or whatever. But let me just put on my analyst hat for a minute here.
Sure.
There are some things I like about Drake May in the previous preseason game. The first one, I hated his footwork. Hated it. It might have had something to do with the line. Maybe he wasn't ready yet or figured it out yet. The turnover was bad. We've covered that, right? That's done.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're on to the next game where, some balls were high a little bit. And he always, whenever he makes a mistake, he always makes up, right? That's like a common thing with Drake May. But I don't think, I mentioned this because I do post game, but that touchdown by Travion Henderson, that was a zone run audible from Drake May. He got to the line. It was a passing play.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up audibling out. They went on a zone run scheme to the left, and Henderson ran it in effort and finish. Like, that's what they're preaching, right? I give Drake May credit for seeing that, right? Knowing that, telling the line, hey, let's do the zone blocking scheme down where basically the running back can find the hole, and he snuck right through. So I credit Drake May for that, and I want to, because there's so many things you can get on him about, right? Hey, you missed this guy wide open or whatever. He did. Those things are true. but we should credit him when he makes good plays at the line that lead to touchdowns.
100%. I think you're right on that. I think he did make an adjustment on the play, and it ultimately ended up being a successful one. You also saw that at another point in the game as well. He did audible, and I think he hit it to Henderson off the right side, and he looked good too. So yeah, you're right. There are some good and some bad execution from May thus far, and you just gotta kind of take it for what it is, right? And I look at too. You mentioned having him. You mentioned him, taking it and understanding kind of the scheme, right, with Josh McDaniels. I think you're starting to see that where, yes, he's and he mentioned it. Jason McCourty mentioned it on the broadcast where, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought.
The headset, right?
The headset with Alex Van Pelt, right, where Van Pelt was not in his ear as much, and McDaniels has kind of been there. And is it too much overload? But I think it's just something that it's going to come with time, right? And even him. Those spray misses he had at the beginning of the game where he goes way too high to Mac Hollins and he goes, high to Pop Douglas. He does settle in and he does bounce back, and he has had rough starts to practices and then he finishes better. So it's good to see. You also want to see him just be able to start fast, because at the end of the day, he is going to be your franchise quarterback, and you're putting a lot on his plate. You do want to see a faster start, because it almost kind of feels like excuse making to me sometimes, where, oh, well, he's just going to start slow. Like, no, don't start slow. You're better than that. You can be better than that. Settle down before the game, get in there, set your feet like you mentioned, and put it on a guy in Matt Collins who's over 6 feet. Put it on the numbers, put it on his chest. That it should be easier said than done. Now, again, you mentioned his understanding of the offense, and I'm starting to see that he is taking it in a little bit more, and maybe it is a little bit difficult, but he'll settle down. I think.
Yeah,
what's that?
Keep going. Well, remember, you and I had this is what I was going to bring up. You and I had the discussion. I still question Josh McDaniels. Listen, when you source stuff, obviously you talk to both sides, right? People in Minnesota were raving about how Drake May could pick up the Josh McDaniels language. And it's hard, right? It's hard. Mm-hmm. Let's call it what it is. Like, Mac Jones could understand it. He couldn't. When it got harder and they kept adding things to the basket, he struggled. But it was more ability, right, for Mac Jones? Where I'm going, go ahead.
Yeah,
real quick. Where I'm going with it is that my question is, he's taking it all in. He's learning it very well. I want to credit him for it. But is the delay a game about that? Is he missing guys when he's not letting it fly? That pass to Hollins that you mentioned, he hit Pop Douglas wide open down the middle of the field.
Right.
My whole thing is it turnover-worthy plays? And I know it's the preseason, right? This is where you work on these things. But is he afraid to let it fly because of the turnover-worthy plays that Josh McDaniels is trying to emphasize here? And is it too much for him? And is it hurting his progression? And the problems that we're seeing, is it because of that? I think it's because of that, not because of Drake May's ability.
I would agree with that. I think that there is and it's funny. I was talking about this with Taylor Kyles, my co-host at CLNS, and Alex Barth the other day on from here 98.5 The Sports Hub. We did one of our crossover podcasts on CLNS, and I mentioned that they had a really rough end of half 2-minute drill situation at practice on Monday, and Drake May sprayed the first throw. The second throw, he just threw one up to Kayshon Boutte that was pass break up by Alex Austin, and the third play was intercepted by Robert Spillane, and the drive ended. And to me, it was like he was almost trying to force it a little too much, because he knows that he does have that ability, right? And you mentioned it's not going to be the ability that hinders him. The beauty of the Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady 2-minute drill that we saw and knew and love here for the last 25 years was dink and dunk, even in a 2-minute situation. Take what they give you early, dump one off to the running back when they're covering them deep, dump a quick a hitch route to Danny Amendola or whatever for 10 yards. And then once you hit a couple of those, you take your shot. You're Troy Brown across the middle, before you can hit Wiggins and get the field goal for the win in the Super Bowl. Like, it was a quick hitter, take a shot, get in range, clock, and go. And that might just be something that he has to learn in those situations, because that's kind of what this is predicated on. Yes, it's predicated on language that can be confusing, for lack of a better term. It's predicated on the quarterback having much more command, making the line calls, being able to audible, etc. When you have to do that, when you also have this ability to make superstar plays like Drake May does, there can be a lot on your plate, as you mentioned. So I think it is a learning curve. I do think he's going to be okay, but there does have to be a slow rollout, a slow build here, because we saw it with Mac Jones, like you just mentioned. Once it got to be a little bit too much, his lack of ability to make plays off schedule, etc., kind of started to hinder him. So I do think it's going to be okay, but this is still going to be a long-term project with Drake May here. I know we want to see so much in year two, this big year two leap that everybody talks about. It might take a little while. I do think it's going to be successful, but it's been up and down so far this summer, as we've mentioned.
And listen, I think again, I'm on the under 8.5. I know people want them to be back in the picture. All I care about is progression and growth and become a destination. And so I feel like maybe some fans this week, after watching some Patriots games and looking at maybe the grind that it is, have a little bit of a different feeling now. And maybe it's hitting them like, oh, man, maybe they're not going to be as good. But as far as Drake May goes, I am going to every week, McDaniels, May. I'm at least impressed that he's picking it up the way that he is. I'm just – because, dude – I know that like Brady did it, right? There are some guys that make all the calls at the line. They know the mic, right. They know the cadence, they know the blocking scheme, right? They know everything. But normally it's the center that does that. On a lot of good teams, the center does that. They don't have a center here. They just don't. Right. And so I get why, but when I see him make little mental mistakes, like the delay of game, that's when I say, ugh, just a little bit too much. Finally, Mike, before we let you go, anything on Stephon Diggs? Do you think he's the number one receiver on the team? Do you think that he will be the number one? Like, there's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't have any sources. What do you have? You've been around the team. I know they've been gone for a couple of days and they've been back now. But like, is there anything there, or is it just they hope he's ready for week one?
There's something there, Joe, and I can't quite put my finger on it either. There's just been a lot of things that have sort of bubbled to the surface really since he got here, that each one in a vacuum isn't that big of a deal, but when you put them all together and you think about where this team's at and where they want to be, I'm not going to sound alarm bells yet, but you talk about the boat video and the pig substance, and then yes, he's cleared for week one, great, it's all well and good, and then he looked like he showed up late to Commanders practice. We haven't got any word on that, so I don't really want to speculate. Don't know if it was excused, not excused. But after the fact, he did not play in Friday's game. Now, he didn't play in last weekend's game either, and I think they held a lot of guys due to injury, so I want to give them the benefit of the doubt there. But when Mike Vrabel was asked about it across the street, he mentioned it was a coach's decision, and he left it at that. That's so that opened the door for speculation. Yep. And then you had him and Phil go back and forth, and he kind of gave Phil some tunes that you really believed what he said on Diana Rossini. He might not be ready to play. He's been out there every single day. Like, there's been so many small things that it's almost like there has to be something. Where there's smoke, there's fire is the way to look at it, right? So I do think ultimately he's going to be out there for week one. He does look healthy enough to play football right now. Whether he is their number one wide receiver, I think it still remains to be seen. I think this is, again, a group of pass catchers who they're marginally improved from a year ago, but it's still, to me, a bunch of number two options in Demario Douglas and Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs off an ACL tear at age 31. Like, there's still no take the top off the defense guy. There's still no this guy's going to dictate coverage and open things up for everybody else guy. So I just wonder, Efton Chisholm is a okay slot receiver option. Like, yes, he's been a preseason darling, but what happens when he's lining up against some of the best slot defenders in football, right? Like, there's going to be a curve there too. So I still don't think they've done enough at wide receiver either. I still don't think they've done enough at offensive line. But on Diggs specifically, until something much more wilder happens, I think we're okay. But it's definitely something to monitor as the season goes on, because there has been some smoke, and who knows if it ever turns into a fire. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, Mike, I got an article idea for you. Maybe you should rank the rookie classes, because I think the Patriots rookie class is going to be very good this year.
All right, I'm going to write that down.
Hey,
I'm actually ranking the under 25 quarterbacks right now. That's going to come out in towards the end of once the Saints actually stop dragging their feet and name their starting quarterback. That's when I'm going to finish it off. But that's one of my rankings for SI.com. I'll have that coming out shortly.
Would Drake may be in the top 10?
So actually, there is. I think since Richardson was not named the starter in Indy, I think there's only 9 under 25 starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
So he is one.
So he does make the top 10. So
he won't make
once I publish, he's not in the top 5. Once I publish, I'll send it your way, and you can mince that out.
Well, you can write a nice little story. You can tag this video of us having a conversation. It's called digital media, sir.
Oh yeah.
All right, Mike.
We know digital media. We're in the game, baby.
Hey, listen. There are people who don't even know what it is.
I know. It's unfortunate. Stay ahead of the curve. You got to stay ahead of the curve.
We're the future of the business.
Exactly. That's why I'm zooming into radio right now, baby.
And you're much younger than me.
But you're on top of it for your age, and that's the good thing. You're doing it right. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I appreciate that.
Of course.
It's the best thing someone said to me all day.
I see you on TikTok. I roll over and I wake up in the morning. I look at my TikTok. I see Joe Murray Media every fourth video.
There you go. Skaz, I've been telling Skaz, I'm not a TikToker, but I post all my content on TikTok.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
All right. He's Mike Kadlick, everybody. You can find him on TikTok, too. Are you on TikTok? Yeah, you are.
I was at one point, and I gave it up a little bit.
Well, you can find him on Sports Illustrated. You can find him at CLNS. Mike, thank you, sir. Enjoy the game this week.
I will. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you having me.
You got it. Thank you. He's Mike Kadlick, everybody, and he looked good on camera tonight. Digital media, baby. Well, the Red Sox. Some things are going on over there that I'm starting to be putting the cap lock on, I think.
Yeah, Joe, you might want to hold that caps lock down. Woof. Woof doesn't even begin to describe what just happened.
All right, well, let's hit the headline. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports. Duran, Trevor Story, and Masataka Yoshida all struck out swinging with the bases loaded. All of them. All of them. Think about that. How depressing was that? You told me to hit the cap block. I did.
And that at-bat by Duran in the bottom of the 8th was one of the worst at-bats you could possibly have.
Agreed.
With bases loaded, no outs.
Absolutely agree.
And the new guy, Joe.
So Bernardino comes in, bing, bop, boom, bop, boom, right? 6 pitches in and out. Bernardino had an inning pitched on 6 pitches, Cass. Think about that. Then Red Sox get a runner on base, and then Nathan Lau, the new acquisition, who's the DH tonight, golfs one into the bullpen in right field. Tie game, 3-3, bottom of the 9th inning right now for the Red Sox. After squandering a bases-loaded situation with no outs and 3 straight strikeouts. The guy that they pick up off the scrap heap goes yard. As Toro strikes out again, his job out, done. Send him home. Put him on the IL.
Just cut his ass.
He's done.
See you, DFA.
I'm glad Lau got the Wally head. Well, now that thing smells. I don't care after hitting that thing. But you know what? This guy now we're like, more Lau. More Lau. More Lau. More Lau. I hope they win this thing.
Well, if they don't, it's on the 8th inning.
Which would be the hitters this night, right?
The hitters have been a problem.
But the hitting's a problem. No doubt about it.
Big problem.
The miniature 5-game sample, though, is the bullpen. Right? Because they've been good all year. We've been giving the numbers out all night. Jason is in Derry. Hi, Jason.
What's up, guys? You mentioned a couple of the worst movies of all time earlier, Joe. I got 3. One has to do with sports. The first one is Anaconda with J-Lo and Ice Cube. That is atrocious movie. Absolutely horrible.
Wrong.
The second one is Blue Chips with Penny Hardaway, Shaq, and Nick Nolte.
Don't. You waited on hold for that. By the way, Anaconda had Ice Cube in it, friend of the show, with Jennifer Lopez and John Voight. No. And Blue Chips, Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, Anthony Hardaway. I mean, everybody was in the movie. John Thompson, you name him, Rick Pitino, they were all in it. Jim Bay. Did another guy just strike out? What the hell's going on?
You're a little behind, Joe. But yes.
Oh, that's right. I know it is why. You know why? Because I fast forwarded to see my buddy Anthony Ferrullo during the fire drill. I'm still waiting for Anthony to text me back.
He's working.
I said no. He's probably holding. Like he's probably. Whoa! That was almost let one slip there, everybody. Oh, I'm behind. You're right. I am behind. Well, never mind. We got the musings next, guys. Something happened to me today that I'm not happy about. I'd like to muse about it if we can. We'll do that next. But first, this hour of the Sports is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here. 98.5. The Sports Hub.
2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth inning to tie the game. So we'll get back to that. Let's muse for a little bit. Haven't had one of these in a while, Skaz. So, when you're in your car, Skaz, are you a Bluetooth guy or do you plug in?
What do you mean?
So, for example, I get into my car, I use a wire to plug into my phone to get my Google Play and Bluetooth and Waze and all that. Do you plug in or are you a Bluetooth to the car?
Yeah, my car is Bluetooth. So, yeah.
So you're Bluetooth?
It automatically connects, yeah.
You don't plug in?
I mean, I have a charger, but no, I'm not plugging in to, get anything from my phone to play through the radio, no.
Okay. That's my problem. So, I forget where I went, but I took my charger plug out of my car one night. And then ever since I took it out of my car and put it back in, it sometimes goes in and out. It's been bothering me lately. And I know I can go Bluetooth. I get it. This is not a Joe problem. This is a Joe convenience. So today I was a little early. I worked in Boston today. I got out and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit up a local store to ask them, is it my phone that's having the issue? Sandler training to Bant, you name it. I know all the tricks of the trade, okay? I've done it all. Did you just look at me, Skaz? I know a lot about I know a lot about sales, all right? So I walk in, the guy goes, "Can I help you?" "Yeah, you can." I need to know if my phone has an issue or if it's the wire. And he goes, "Yeah, it's the wire, I can tell." Okay.
Did you make that head motion in the store?
Okay. And he goes, "Well, what do you?" I go, "I don't know. That's why I'm here." So I said 3 times, "I don't know. That's why I'm here." Does that make me a jerk? What kind of plugged-in do you have? What kind of phone? I don't know. That's why I'm here. What kind of phone is it? I don't know. Well, you got an old phone. No, dude. This is not an old phone. I felt like kind of insulted. Like I have old, non-updated electronics. I get it. Hey, listen. I know what I got. I got a 14s, guys, but I guess the 15s are the new ones.
Believe it's the 16, Joe.
Oh, well, it's the 16 now, so I guess my 14's old. So what, they don't make wires anymore for people with iPhone 14s? Carrying on. I go, "Hey, man, can you just play with some wires to make sure that it's not my wire, you know?" He goes, no, I know what it is. I go, "All right, what do I get?" And he goes, "We only have one left in the store." I go, "Oh, I'm the lucky guy who's got one left in the store. Let's go." And he goes, "It's $40. I go, $40, bro? I go, "I'm looking on Amazon right now, $7.99. He goes, "Yeah, dude, it's on sale right now for $25. So now I started at 40. I'm down to 25. I know I can get it on Amazon for $7. And I'm like, well, you know, he's like, "Yeah, this is a 2-headed monster, man. You get the 14C and you get the USB-C and the USB-A and like whatever." And I'm like, all right. I go, "So I just want to make sure this is a USB plug-in, not that little lightning plug-in thing." He goes, no, it's a USB plug-in. I go, okay. So I paid $25. Right? And as I'm walking out, I'm like,
I think you ordered one off Amazon, Joe.
I went back in the store. That's how it ended, Skaz, just so you know. But I walked back in and I said, "Sir." They go, "Didn't work." I go, "No, what are you trying to sell me? What are you trying to sell me?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's the last one we had." I go, "Dude, you are just selling stuff, aren't you? You don't even know what the hell you're doing." I go, "You probably get away with this all the time, huh?" I was pissed. You know, I'm not going to let somebody sell me.
Suspect, Joe.
That
Sounds
was
like you had
suspect.
A suspect interaction.
How do you not have a 14 iPhone plug-in charger? And then you want to sell it to me? And I bought it anyways, and it didn't work, and I brought it back. They give me my money back.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
You know what I said? You must get away with this all the time, huh? And he goes, hey, man, I just sell whatever they ask for. And I didn't appreciate that.
I would love to be there for one of these Joe Murray interactions.
Do you know why I didn't have a more explosive reaction?
Please.
Because it's across the street from the building. You guys might have something on that. You just heard me freak out again. I was pissed. Do you know what I did after I bought it on Amazon? I got 2 for $8.
And now you have an extra, Joe. Have you ever actually, been scammed in a sense like that, where you left the store or you ordered something online and it showed up and it was not what you anticipated?
That's happened to me before, too, but here's what I found out. I've ordered... Okay, guys, I have a million wires in my basement of things that I bought that didn't work that I never returned. So when I tell you that I got, like, the creme de la creme of wires, I got them, baby. You ever, like, go... So back in the day, I used to sell, when I worked at Best Buy 25 years ago. You ever heard, like, someone try to sell you monster cables? They're like those red, white, and blue cables.
I feel like I've heard of them,
but
yeah.
You got to get the monsters because you get the real great quality, man. Just use the red, white, blue, yellow cables that they give you. Right? Just red, white, yellow. Plug them in. Works for your PlayStation probably still, right? I don't even know how that works anymore. I'm very frustrated. And you know what? I will tell you. Oh, I didn't even tell you this yet, Skez. When I went in, do you know how they have display phones? Well, they had chargers available that you could plug in. So when I plugged my phone into their chargers, it worked. So I knew it wasn't my phone, and I knew it wasn't my car socket. So if it was a Joe problem, I would take the L.
Really have a story to rival that one, Joe.
I haven't mused in a while about, like, things that piss me off. Right?
That was a good one.
But, like, do you know what's funny? The guy was scared when I walked back in. But I wasn't going to yell at him. I just said, dude, I'm going to return it because I told you I'm going to bring it back if it doesn't work. My thing is, what made him think that it would work on my phone? What made him think that, Skess?
Joe, this is where, I would have liked to be there to see the interaction.
How about this? My car was so close to the building.
Yeah, he should have come out.
He saw me in the car.
That's what a good customer service person would do.
You know what?
Go out to the car.
I think he tried to sell me because they get paid on accessories. I've been there. How many service plans I've sold in my life? I used to sell DVD players. How are those doing today? How are those performance service plans going? Yeah, when you buy a car, right, you get your Simonized. How's that going these days when you get a new car every 3 years? Joe, you have to take logic out of the interaction. You're right. All right, Street Team. Joe, what do you got?
All right. Unfortunately, I fell for my first online scam last week, and I'm not proud of what I've done.
Okay, real quick. There's a lot of scams going on that I want to make people aware of. I'm being real. So there's this one about the tolls that are happening right now.
That's exactly the one I fell for.
So I was going to tell you that's one that's going on right now. And there's another about I keep getting the marijuana reissue my license thing, but my license is already renewed.
Yeah.
So I called you. Basically, I called it out. It was a scam that was going around last week.
Yeah. So
an email that would said, "Hey, someone tried to reset your password." When I reset my password, I've never been able to get on Facebook again. And they changed the email. And when I tried to do it, they ended up hacking me, and they were like, "Yeah, we're holding your account for ransom." And they wanted $600 for me to get it back, and I just said, "You can keep it." So if you contact me on Facebook, I can't contact. It's not me.
Yeah. One of my best friends fell for one that was around $5,000.
Yeah, but it's hard to get that money back.
No, he didn't get it back. And what was great, so he was starting his sophomore year of college, and he got an email from his professor, which really wasn't his professor, saying, "Hey, I'd like to start something new with the class this year. I'm gonna buy a bunch of gift cards, and we're gonna people who placed highest in tests and group projects, they'll get these gift cards from me. The only problem is, I don't have the time before our first class. Is there any way you could stop at the school store and get these gift cards?" And luckily, the school store lady stopped him, but he was fully going to buy 10 or 5 $1,000 gift cards because he thought his professor was trying to.
So everything's good now?
Yeah, everything's good.
I really hate when they prey on elderly people. Right? Hey, I need the yard done. Yeah, it's going to be $1,000. An elderly person doesn't know. They can't do it themselves, right? So they're going to pay the $1,000. I hate that. It bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, or getting quoted for paint.
Yeah, or windows
paint,
or whatever.
Windows or paint.
Doors, Yeah, it's $10,000. That bothers me.
Yeah.
And there are monsters out there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have people to look after them. Which
just there's people that just want to sell you stuff that doesn't work, Can you believe that, Joe?
I wish I was there with you today, Joe.
I want you to know I handled it like a true pro. I did make them feel low. Hey, what are you trying to accomplish here today? All he cared about, you got your money back, right? Now I need to know if I get my money back. I didn't get the transaction, gave my card back. He could have charged me again for all I know. But just remember, I got my eyes on you. You're everything that I see. I want my accessories endlessly. That was a Drake lyric. Anything else tonight, guys? Birthdays?
Yeah, we could muse about Abraham Toro too. 0 for 5. To the 11th inning when they go.
Can he get cut by tonight? Kyra Sedgwick, 60.
Kira Sedgwick, Joe.
Thank you.
Kevin Bacon's wife.
Oh, Leanne Womack's 59. Erica Christensen, 43. Oh, Matthew Perry. That's sad. John Stamos, baby! And Bill Clinton. What a day. Wait. That's all I got, Skess.
You mentioned Stipe Miocic earlier in the show.
Yes.
It is his birthday today. It is also Manny Jacinto's birthday today. Kirk Cousins' birthday today. Who knows if he'll play quarterback this year. Melissa Famero's birthday today. Kirk Herbstreit, Joe.
Kirk Herbstreit's birthday?
Kirk Herbstreit's birthday today.
His kid's now in the media. Did you know that?
Yeah, I wonder how he got that job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how did he get that job?
Ron Darling's birthday today.
Good pitcher, yeah.
Morton Anderson's birthday today.
Ooh, kicker. You know how many cards of Morton Anderson I've come across in my life? Champions Lamine Yamal soccer card. It's got to be worth millions. Anyways, what else? Anything else?
Not seeing much else, Joe.
Well, I would just like you to know that if you need an accessory at a store, just buy it on Amazon.
Patrick Chung's birthday today.
Oh, I believe. Hey, Joe, when's the last time you've been up to Gillette? Recently? Have you remember the old Red Wing on Route 1?
Oh, yeah.
Him and Dante Hightower bought that, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it still the Red Wing or is it something else now?
I don't know, but that thing was a legend. It didn't look great on the outside, but the food wasn't bad. All right. Well, we're just milking time, trying to get to the end of this Red Sox game. So why don't we take a quick break? You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey guys, are you unhappy with your chest? You know what I'm talking about.
all we hear about is the Red Sox have the easiest remaining schedule, right? They have the easiest remaining schedule. But they struggle against all the teams, right? Let me give you the numbers because I just had it here, and I'll pull it up. I did this the other night. I don't know why I can't find it right now. But the Red Sox, again, when you think about it, if they lose tonight down 4-3 with all those chances, like, we got to start looking at things differently here. Like, we got to start looking at things a little differently here.
Breaking out the caps lock, Joe?
I can see Joe. Street Team Joe is going like this, which is the capital C, but he kind of reminds me of Will Ferrell in Old School when he's like doing that thing.
Thought he was casting a spell on you or something?
Yeah. Like, jeez. All I can tell you, just take my word for it. I had it somewhere. Now I can't find it. But the Red Sox record with Alex Cora, all right, in the months of August, right, from August to October, at Fenway Park in the month of August, he's 35-38. In the month of September, he's 32-33. They're even worse on the road. That's at Fenway. But versus the Yankees, this is the one I wanted to bring up, Skaz. In the month from August to October. You ready for this? At Fenway versus the Yankees, Alex Cora, 4-12. Alex Cora in New York, 4-14. That would be 8-26, right? Scott, Joe math, 4-4. Okay, 4-4 is 8, and then 14, 20, 26, 8-26. 8-26 versus the Yankees from August on. Not good. Not good. Now, if it was 26-8, I'd be like, dude, they own them, right? The Yankees own the Red Sox in August and September since literally Alex Cora started. In the month of August and September. So the Red Sox have a chance to tie the game right now. Roman Anthony's at the plate, and there's a runner on third with one out. So let's see. I mean, Roman Anthony's been very good, right? They wouldn't bunt with a lefty, would they? Just to get the run home? You wouldn't take the bat out of Roman Anthony's hands, would you, Skaz?
No.
Oh, is he going to tag up? Here we go. Here we go. We got to play. Oh, no. Hey, when it's good, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did? Okay, fly ball to center field. That would have been the second out. He fakes to run home, but the ball gets thrown into the batter's box on the other side, the warm-up box. What are these guys doing? I need answers, Skaz. Yeah, I just yell and you guys look at me.
Joe, I'm with you. The throw was absolutely horrible. Devil's advocate, do you want to take, the bat out of Alex Bregman's hand? Yeah, third out at home with Alex Bregman up to bat.
We'd question it. He would have been safe.
He would have been safe.
If I was running, I would have been safe.
All three of us would have been safe.
Street Team Joe could have crawled. I'd just walk Bregman here, wouldn't you? Force them out in the middle. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? I had a little bit of a freak out there, huh? It almost sounded like Adam Sandler a little bit. You know when he's like, "What are you doing?" That bothered me. Who's that? The third base coach has actually been pretty good this year. I don't know his name, but he's been pretty good. It's good to not know the third base coach's name, right? You would assume. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's me yelling. What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did? Hey, when it's gone, what are you doing?
A little Chris Farley in there, maybe.
Here we go. We got to play it. Oh, no. Hey, when it's gone, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did? I think we're all looking for answers, right? As the Red Sox lose 4-3 tonight. The Red Sox lost, everybody. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did?
Listening to it back, you really are just screaming for someone to answer you. Like someone tell me what are they doing?
What was that? They lost. Everyone's stunned. You should have saw Ness. I got to give Nesson credit for this one. They got shots of people in the stands, literally stunned. What are you doing? That's me yelling. When someone says all Joe does is yell, that's me yelling. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing?
A man pleading for answers, begging for them.
Can somebody answer what they just did? That's live radio, everybody. You can't get that on a podcast. That would have been the second out. He fakes to run home, but the ball gets thrown into the batter's box on the other side, the warm-up box. Oh, God. Right? Come on. Send him. Skaz, you know what? You suck in extra innings. I get it. Do you want to take the bat out of Bregman's hands? Let's deal with that tomorrow. Have I ever screamed like that before?
Embalm them comes to mind.
Oh, embalm them.
That's my personal favorite, probably, in my time here at night. Do your job. Embalm.
Oh, man. I'm coming down from that right now. My eyes are watering from laughing. You ever heard me that loud, Joe? Jeff's in Rhode Island. Jeff.
I don't know what the hell I just watched. How many times did we strain the runners with the bases loaded tonight?
3.
Had to be 3, right?
3.
3 times. The reliever for the Orioles looked like he was somebody's uncle at a barbecue drunk off 6 Modelo's. And on top of that, you guys want to do this fake pop. I don't even know. The thing he could have made that. You guys are half a game out of a wild card spot. If you lose on Thursday, you're out of the wild card technically. I'm probably wrong in the math there. You guys got to show a little bit of balls.
Who's you guys? Who's you guys?
The Red Sox, not you guys.
Oh.
The team has to show some grit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Don't be sorry. You want to yell, call it. That was some live. Can we go back to the beginning? Like I need to hear it one more time because what happened in my head was, all right, Roman Anthony's at the plate. Why don't you just walk him? I think was what I was talking about, right? Oh no, I said, wouldn't you just bunt? But you're not going to bunt Roman Anthony is what I said, right? Because he's like your best bat. His hands, would you, Skaz? You wouldn't take the bat out of Roman Anthony's hands, would you, Skaz?
No.
Oh, is he going to tag up? Here we go. Here we go. We got to play it. Oh, no. Hey, when it's gone, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did?
Just a man begging for answers.
I needed answers. What was that? What are you doing?
That's Chris Farley. That's Chris Farley right there.
Oh, that was something, huh? Is this like going to be the like the game of the summer that changes the season? Like, what's going on here? Are we going to hear who is the third base coach? Do we even know?
The last third base coach I remember is like DeMarlo Hale.
Or like Wendell Kim.
Yeah. Wave him home, Wendell.
Okay, this is the second time I've seen this as a headline, Joe, and I love it.
Matt,
is it now? Hey! We couldn't even get a word in yet.
Wasn't even the guy on the phone either. It was background swear. Little F-bomb in the background.
Have we ever had a background swear?
Maybe not on this program, but one of the most famous calls into the station for sure. 2 to 6. There was some boss action going on there. I don't know if you remember that call, but yes.
Well, if you want to talk about that final play there, or the second, wow. So, like, could we AI it working? Do you think that's something like people can do? Think about it. Short fly ball to center field. Who was on third, by the way? I don't even know. I just wanted them to score.
I think it was Eaton or Gonzalez. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me go back. Does that matter? Who the runner is?
I mean, as long as it wasn't Doug Marabelli, I felt pretty good about sending him.
Okay, I agree. It does, guys. For the sake of the argument, it doesn't matter who was on third. For the sake of the argument, it doesn't matter who's on third base.
Nate Eaton, fast
leadoff hitter.
Sure. No, I mean, not supposed to be, but sure. Dented the ladder, Joe. That's what I'll remember him for.
Remember the guy last night called in and goes, I went to the game. Who's Nate Eaton? I mean, at least know who Nate Eaton is. I
don't know if the third base coach knows who he is.
Again, we don't know who the third base coach. Maybe I should know who the third base coach is. You work in sports radio. You should know that. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to say this. I think the Red Sox are becoming gun shy. That's a play where I think you need to show a little bit at home. You're about to lose 3 in a row. Skaz, I get the argument. This is sports radio. You don't take the bat out of your hands, your best player. You don't do it. I get it. This team, though, like you're losing 2 in a row. You're off tomorrow. You get the Yankees coming up. You struggled against them, and you're slipping out of the playoff picture. You're slipping. Your team right now is struggling offensively. Your bullpen's a mess. Like, you need a spark. You need to steal a game. And you're at home. This is just to tie it, by the way. This is just to tie the game. We got to take a break. That's the most emotional I've gotten on air, and I can remember in a really long time. And no money on the game, by the way. None. That was a strictly emotion. That could have been a softball game, and I would have reacted that way. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? Can somebody answer what they just did? Go on and tell me not to take the bat out of Bregman's hands. Go on. After hearing that passion. That's better than the bleed blue guy right there. Oh, what's the sound that the Buffalo Bills team makes against Kez? What was that? You know, the hotkeys, the Buffalo Bills guy. What was? There it is. All right, let me catch my breath. We'll hit the headline here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius.
I'm a job creator. That's goodwill.org.
Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
2-0. Swinging a high fly, not deep. Cows are getting under. Eaton back at third. He is going to bluff, and it's a really bad throw. He stays at third, though. Did not try and come home.
Okay. Back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Did you hear the boos on the call, by the way? That was passion. I think this is the most passionate I've been in a long time about the Red Sox. I think it was more about having some balls. I think that's what it is for me right now. You're fighting. You're fighting for the playoffs. You're fighting. You know, like if the Patriots went for it on a 4th down and they're trailing on the final play of the game, you got to go for it, right? I know it's crossing sports, but you got to go for it, right? They've been making critical errors. Like, yes, in that situation, you don't want to make that out there. It was short. But don't you try to be aggressive. Don't you try. Man. Oh. Maybe I did overreact. Mike's in Cambridge, Mike.
Joe, I want to add a couple more to the what are you doing? Trevor Story. Are you kidding me? This guy has walked 3 straight batters, and you're swinging out of your shoes with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. What is he doing? He's one of them. The other one, the inning before, Yoshida's at bat and Duran's at bat, who looks like he said a little something to a fan after, by the way.
No, I don't want to start that one. The Trevor Story one's interesting, right? Remember we even said it, Skaz. Hey, he just walked the bases loaded. What was Story doing? He wasn't. That was. Can we even say that was uncharacteristic of him? He's never really been in a clutch situation, right? Trevor Story's never been in a clutch situation. Never.
You don't think a lot of those Rockies games where we're deep into the playoffs?
This sounds like a shot, but he's not. Like, he's never been in that situation. He's never been in it. And today, the caller's right. He was swinging out of his shoes.
The one guy you feel comfortable with up there is Roman, and he's the rookie, and he draws a walk.
And he hit the ball in the air with a runner on third with 1 out. Like, it was short. Bregman's up. I just want them to be a little bit more aggressive. That's all. Brian's in South Carolina.
Joe, how you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there.
I'm not good either. I want to smash my TV. And how about this? How about thinking when Zorro or Toro, whatever the hell he is, how about thinking outside the box and maybe drop it down a bunt? He can't hit. If a beach ball was thrown up there, he can't hit. How about trying to drop a bunt?
I don't even know what you're going to say. You're going to smash something.
Zorro.
Joe.
That's what he looks like with a bat, I guess.
Where's the Z, Joe? I need a Z. We have to go home. Thank you, everybody that joined us tonight. Bill Speros, he even dropped a what? A Filipinas? The hell was that?
It's been a hell of a night, Joe. Hell of a night.
Between Penis Jr. and Filipinas? Let's just go out to me yelling. I want to thank everybody. Street Team Joe, thank you. Joe posted a video that you should go watch. Skaz, thank you. James Scaramazino, awesome job. This hour of the Sports Show is brought to you by Valvoline and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com to save 50% off an extra drive-through oil change at Valvoline and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I know that everyone's back and loving the Red Sox because nobody can keep it clean, and I love it. What are they doing? Let's hear it as we leave. See you guys. Bye. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they doing?